Alright, what's up everybody? Nitro here, and this is episode 2 of Overpowered. Today we're a little short-staffed, but I'm still here with co-host TitansFan1238. Say hey.
Hey guys, it's TitansFan1238 here, and yep.
Alright, and today we got 2 special guests with us. I'm thinking about doing something a little new, little motto. Try to have one big guy and one small guy on at the same time. So for our big commentator, we got Drift0r on today. Say hey.
Hey, what's up? And that sounds a little bit dirty. That sounds more like some sort of gay adult film. One big guy, one small guy. Double fisting action.
Okay, I'm not feeling too comfortable being the small guy here.
I'll add no homo to the end of it next time. All right. And
micro penis.
As you heard, our small commentator is Wolfman. Say hey.
Hey, Wolfman11983.
All right, so let's get into things. Well, last week everybody introduced themselves, so this week I'm just going to have Drift0r and Wolfman say a little bit about themselves, introduce themselves as a person, and say what you're about. So we'll start with Drift0r.
Okay, hey guys, my name is Drift0r. A lot of you are coming in from my channel, but those of you that are new here, it's, how do I introduce myself? I'm a guy that does gameplay commentary and machinima when I'm feeling really squirrely. I'll make a comedy machinima. Haven't done I would like to say I'm better than average at doing horror machinima, but I haven't done any recently just because I've been all so tied up with If It Were Realistic. I do in-depth on the Machinima Respawn network, and I'm recently being outclassed by Xbox Ahoy, but I intend on coming back and beating him eventually.
All right. And Wolfman, introduce yourself.
I've basically just been doing LPs for about, I think it's about 3 or 4 years now. Hasn't been really big. I've just been originally started up doing it just for fun, and since then I've been getting a little more subscribers than I was actually expecting when I started. So it's just something to do in spare time as a big hobby. So.
All right, and that really seems to be the key. That's what YouTube is about. It's about hobby, but there are definitely perks with it. You meet a lot of new people, make a lot of new friends. And I definitely enjoy that about the YouTube aspect. Again, everybody that's in this chat, I've met from YouTube, and it's all good.
Yep.
So let's get into decisions on why you became a commentator. We'll start with Drift0r. What sparked your interest to be a commentator on YouTube?
I wanted to prove it was easy. I started commentating when Respawn was first made. Back, it's been almost a year and a half ago now. But what happened was the Machinima Network was exclusively for Machinima, like the Red vs. Blue, the RV and the Chief, that sort of stuff. And then they added in movie trailers and pissed off a lot of people, and then they added in game trailers, and it got to the point where Machinima was being buried under trailers. And then all of a sudden they launched this new Machinima Respawn, which was this gameplay commentary aspect of everything that was really pissing off all the old directors, and they started calling all the new commentators directors, when in reality they weren't directing anything as much as they were talking over gameplay. And it really pissed a lot of people off, and me, along with some others, we just hopped in and decided to do a few things to prove that it was, well, incredibly easy. And at the time, it was incredibly easy when it was very new, when there were no people on the channel, when there was only like 500 people on YouTube doing this thing. But now that there's about 10,000 people on YouTube doing this, and like 800 directors and all this sort of stuff, it's way, way harder to do.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is back in the day, I was actually offered to be a part of Red vs. Blue, but I had no idea what Machinima was back then. And
really?
Back,
what voice acting or what?
Yeah, I don't know. There was some guy, I even forget what his name was, but I met him playing Halo 3, and we used to play together all the time, and he was always talking about Machinima, this and that, but I had no idea what Machinima was, because I don't know if it was big back then or what, but I wasn't into I watched Let's Plays on YouTube back then. I didn't watch gameplays of anything, but he was asking me to because we used to do all kinds of adventures, the glitches off the maps and all kinds of stuff, and he asked me, Nitro, would you be interested in doing this thing on Machinima? He had it all drawn out of what he was going to do, and yeah, just be a voice actor for it or whatever, but I never did it because I didn't know what Machinima was, and that was kind of the time where I took a break from playing
Man, you missed out on that boat. Rooster Teeth is now their own huge studio, or not huge, but they're like really big for an independent studio.
Yeah. Oh well. I guess things don't always work out, but
Yeah.
So Wolfman, describe what made you become a commentator.
Nothing anywhere near as glorious as that. I originally started off really bored because I didn't have work at the time, and I just wanted to give my opinions for video games. I figured it would be a constructive outlet to do it, since some of my friends never wanted to hear me talk or complain. And I started off doing a couple reviews for a couple older games. It was just an art project, something fun to do in my spare time, which I had a lot of. And then a couple of my friends said, instead of doing reviews, you should do something more constructive, because we really enjoyed watching you play things like I Want to Be the Guy. You have really funny, long, pissed-off rants, and I think you should do some more games like that and post them up on YouTube so that we could listen to them instead of watching you sit there and voice your frustrations. So I started doing that for a couple things, and I started with Ninja Gaiden, and ended up getting about 50-some-odd subscribers just straight off of doing old NES games like that. And it's basically built from there. I'm apparently relatively funny when I'm unscripted and raw, but I recently started censoring myself in order to appeal to more I don't know who you'd call it really, but they
Did you do Ninja Gaiden like the old ones or the Xbox version?
I'm waiting on the Xbox version. Now that I've gotten everything set up, I can actually go and do those. I've done Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3, and I got to say the third one was much more frustrating than the other two.
Well,
So,
get ready for have you not played the Xbox version yet?
I have the first and the second one. So I've played every Ninja Gaiden game except for the Genesis thing and the arcade games.
You're like a champion. I tried to play the old ones were hard. I tried to play the Xbox version. I remember I finally slogged my way through the first city, and I'm like, okay, this game's pretty hard. And then the first boss, who now seems to be easy, just shit on me for like 2 hours.
Is that for the first game? Is that the one that was up on the plane with the big
Yeah.
energy?
Yeah. No, the guy with the nunchucks. I didn't realize how hard.
Oh,
the one that was on the plane with the energy, I found to be really, really easy. And then I fought my way through the city, and then it's like, and then suddenly dinosaurs, and then fire dinosaurs, and I get to where I have like one little smidgen of a health bar and no items and no nothing, and I have to fight some giant tentacle monster because big titty blonde girl dropped her axe, and I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. The games are so bad, story-wise. So full of the worst CIA agents I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's pretty much all in good fun. That's okay. So Titans fan.
Yep.
We never really talked about why we got into YouTube last episode, so I guess you can have your turn.
Alright, so the reason why I went into YouTube is because to begin with, I was always a good COD player. I've always been good in Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, and I always play with Nitro, so he says I'm a pretty good player. So I started off, and all my friends were telling me about this machinima crap and all this commentary, gameplay crap, and it was mostly in Modern Warfare 2. So in Modern Warfare 2, I had no idea. I used to play that game a lot, like a lot. That was my first game ever on the PS3, my first action-packed game, and I got pretty addicted to that game. So then I asked around, and one of my friends, named Sebastian in real life, he actually had a Dazzle, and he started recording stuff, and he recorded some like new games and all that. And then he kind of like walked away from the like commentary and gameplay / thing. So I asked him to buy it from him for about $50. So I bought the Dazzle from that. So before the Dazzle, I used to do that little 30-second clips that you can do on I think on theater mode, like you can upload it for like 30 seconds max and all that. And then I got into, I got friends with Nitro. I was actually, I think, third subscriber, right, Nitro?
Yes, you were the third.
Yeah, and I got into Zacademics, and later then I got into Name and all that. And they kind of told me to, like, maybe put some commentary up and put some long gameplay up. So I started with the Dazzle. And yeah, it just it's been escalating from there. I started doing commentaries about I think I have about 10 games, 15 games with commentary over it, and I'm starting to get the groove of it, and I like it. So I kind of started all this YouTube stuff for fun and all that, just to see how it would happen, and yeah, so basically that's how I got into YouTube.
So I guess it's time for my story now. So like I said earlier, when I first started watching YouTube, I watched a lot of Let's Plays. I don't know why, but I've always been a fan of watching people play video games. I don't know why. I seem to get into the story a lot better when I'm watching somebody else when I'm playing. But again, that goes a lot into, like I said last episode with Dark Cloud 2, and just sitting there every Saturday watching my friend play this game because the storyline was so enthralling that I just couldn't. But yeah, it started from there, and then just going from game to game, basically watching games that I had as a kid on Nintendo, and then it evolving into more games. And then that's when I bought my Xbox 360. So I always wanted to be a Let's Player, but I never really figured out how to do it. But then I bought my Xbox, and I started watching more and more actual gameplays. Halo 3 was my game back there, and then I got a little bit into COD 4, started watching those. And then by the time I actually got my HD PVR and stuff, Call of Duty is what was hot. Call of Duty is what I watched, so that's what I did. But I am now starting to try to diversify my channel a little bit more and get other stuff out there because everybody does Call of Duty. And it really doesn't matter what you do unless you have something that is completely groundbreaking. It's going to be super hard to make yourself big.
Dude, it doesn't matter if you do have stuff groundbreaking. I feel like I'm tooting my own horn here, but I was one of the first people to try the really cinematic stuff. Dr. Disrespect did it too, but almost nobody was doing it. And it was really weird. I'd upload the cinematic stuff on Respawn and get a good response, but when I'd put a cinematic video with the theater mode or something on my channel, I would lose subscribers. I would spend 2 days making a video and upload it, and I would just instantly lose 30 subscribers. What the fuck?
Yeah. I honestly don't know what people want, because I look at some of these big commentators that were there earlier on now, and they just put up the simplest stuff. They don't put up videos often, some of them. Some of them do put up videos often, but they're just easily thrown together commentaries that, that take them no more than 10 minutes to do, whereas me making a map breakdown or something, I'm spending 8 hours on a video, non-stop trying to put it together to get 300 views. Which
that's what you're missing out on. The first people there are the first people there. That was back in the days where when people wanted to watch somebody playing a video game, they had a choice between 20 people instead of a choice between 10,000 people. And once you get to a certain level, the subscriber following thing tends to snowball really crazy. I think that's somewhere around 50, 60-ish thousand. Everything starts to snowball like mad, and the numbers that you're playing with are just so astronomical, it's not hard to get bigger, even if you do put out very average stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that they're questionable, but like I said, it's all, like I've said a lot before, it's just about when you got in there and sometimes who you know now, whether they want to give you the break. I personally am a strong believer that Woody's tournament was completely fixed and who he picked, because a lot of the little commentators that he had in there, I've caught, being on other people's channels, having done dual comms with Wings of Redemption, having done dual comms with so-and-so, and I think that's kind of how they got their spot in there, rather than what they actually put out, but...
I don't know about that. I really don't know. See, I hate to say these kind of things, I lost to FC 2300, and I don't know how many of you saw that. It was kind of weird. FC made a good video. It had a whole cinematic thing going on, and it did a gun review, but it wasn't that hot of a gun review, and it was really frustrating because I'm the guy that does gun reviews every single day, reviewing all the guns, and I tried to do something really, really different for that, and I ended up losing, and that's okay. I mean, not everybody has to agree with the stuff I like, which is fine. And then they go through the thing, Woody brings in judges, and I'm reading the judges' comments, and it's what would Drift0r do if there were a game with no theater mode? How would he film? And I'm like, these people don't have a fucking clue who I am. They haven't used Google. They haven't seen that I made Machinima in Halo, or I made it in Modern Warfare 2 with no camera by holding down a Simtex and following people around. Or they're like, your clips aren't really that impressive. And then they did the same thing to FC2300. They're I don't know. The judges were really weird. Although I gotta admit, Woody himself appeared to be very nice. I really don't know the guy. Cinematic knows the guy. He says he's a cool guy. Woody leaves comments on some of my Respawn videos from time to time. So he seems all cool with me, but I've really never had any proper words with the guy, so I couldn't judge one way or the other.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that it wasn't fixed. And even the people, you know, right away, as soon as somebody big got kicked out, Woody was like, see, that's my friend that got kicked out. But it was people that didn't need the subs, like Gold Glove. He lost in the first round. He doesn't need subs. So you toss him in there. He put a mediocre video out, and he lost.
Well, I think, yeah, some of those guys appeared to do it on purpose. Like Gold Glove appeared to just give up. I don't know. Maybe that was a personal thing with him.
I heard about that. Like, Gold Glove didn't make that good of a video, so the other guy could gain some subscribers and all that. I heard about that. A couple people told me about that. That they would kind of give themselves up for the other commentator to get a little bit bigger, to get more recognition.
Yeah. Like, name you can't hate Sang because he's supposed to be a host, but his computer's not working, and he's on his phone. He said, I got kicked out of the first round of March Madness. Those judges ripped me apart. And that's pretty much what it was. Like, although, I'm going to have to say, Name, you did kind of rehash your old videos and put them together. Still, overall, his was something different. His was, you know, new. It wasn't just a regular commentary like his opponent did. And in that aspect, when you're bringing something new to the table, a judge shouldn't be able to say, well, what would you do if the community didn't have screenshots? What would you do if this? The whole purpose of this March Madness was to bring something new to the table. It was to take the game that you had in front of you, which was Black Ops, which had theater mode, which had community screenshots, which had this, which had that. Why are you going to limit yourself to something that is old when you have something that's new? Like, games going forward, any game developer going forward is going to be stupid not to have a theater mode in there from this point forward.
Well, the technology is proprietary, so not every game can have a theater mode, but I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of games that are trying like hell to have a theater mode ever since Halo 3. If they can do it, they're going to do it.
Yeah. I think NASA won I think he only won because he has 30k subs. That's the only reason. I voted for Name, and his was overall better from my perspective, not being biased or anything. But since NASA 1 has his 30k, he won. That's what
it was. And if you watch people's Road to Commander, you watch Touch's Road to Commander, who was there? NASA 1 was there. So, you know, Woody was playing with them. They're all a group of friends that, I don't know. I have a hard time. It could be because I'm jealous, but I don't think so. This isn't really a jealousy thing. It's more of, I just think that's how it was set up for people that were medium-sized to get bigger because they had the connection of there. And it was a way for Woody to get more views.
Well, I think you're kind of missing the point. Even though this is the internet, it's still a big deal. Sometimes it's much more important who you know than what you know. Myself, I'm starting to realize I'm trapped in this medium-sized zone, and it's very hard to break out because I don't. It's a personal flaw of mine. I don't really reach out to other commentators. I don't watch a lot of other people's videos or try and get in touch with people. So there are people with very average content that have really awesome friends that get blown way above me, and it doesn't really matter what I work on. I stay in about the same level because no matter where I upload the video or what channel or process, it's going to the same people. It's not branching out. You really have to branch out to the bigger guys, which is probably what I'm going to start doing pretty soon, like shamelessly whoring myself out to some community channels or, I don't know, trying to reach out or do something.
I just never had the dedication to do something like that because it comes off as it would make my hobby into more work, and it's not. It was explained to me. Yeah, it was explained to me that the entire deal with the LPing community or the commentating community is it's very cliquish, and in order to get into the inner circles, like in Machinima, you're lucky in a way that you're in Machinima to begin with, simply because someone like me, I don't go reaching out to people all the time. I've never really had the dedication to go and try doing something like that. So if I'm going to try and boost my channel, it's difficult for someone like me to just jump in and say, oh, I'm going to be a part of Machinima. I'm going to get myself known. I'm going to explode. And it's like, for starters, I don't know anybody. and and trying to go and just pour myself out to anybody in machinima, it's like that's a closed circle to me off the bat. I have to go and try and get into other circles to make way to go into and continue immersing myself. And it's a lot more of it's a lot more trouble than I'm willing to put into play. So I mean,
there's a lot of things at play there. A lot of the bigger, like you're talking about, cliquish guys, they consider themselves, and they are to a pretty good extent, celebrities or small-time internet celebrities or big-time players, like a medium-sized fish in a small pond kind of thing. And for a lot of these people like me, this is not just a hobby. I mean, it's a hobby, and it's a fun-ass hobby, but I put a lot of time into it because this is my job. It counts as a side job. But go figure. I work at school for minimum wage, a little bit better than minimum wage, and this probably pays, I don't know, even I don't know what the hours are, probably 10 times that much just over the course of a year. So this right here, doing these sort of things or making the videos, that's how I pay my bills every month. That's how I pay for the internet. That's how I pay for my food, my gas. That's how I save to pay for tuition. So all this sort of stuff is serious business for me, and I spend a lot of time trying to design videos specifically to get the maximum amount of views, and not necessarily because they're fun.
Yep, I know what you mean. Like I said, my videos, I'm not going to get views putting out regular Let's Plays. Like I said, my Spiral Let's Play, max views I'm going to get on that is 10. If I put out if I put out a Call of Duty commentary, max views I'm going to get is about 50. If I put out a map breakdown, max views I'm going to get is about 500. If I'm lucky, probably 300 range. But if I put something out that, like, my Mortal Kombat fatalities or any kind of demo that is a beta that somebody wants to see, that's going to get hits. And Easter eggs. Like, I put out an Easter egg with the gold crossbow. That got about 600 or so views. And then I put out...
that works.
I put out the Easter egg for Mortal Kombat, and that's up to about almost 4,000 now. But I think the real challenge going into the next topic and making yourself big is finding something that people want to see over and over again. And it's a matter of getting yourself liked by people so that they're interested in hearing what you have to talk about every time you do it.
Yeah. It's kind of being like being yourself. Just be who you are.
Like, I agree.
Don't put on a different face. Don't put on like a different face just for YouTube. Just be yourself, and people will like you. Like, and not everybody has to like you. Not everybody likes me. Just be yourself.
Like me for Call of Duty, I'm not a beast player. I'm not going to be able to put out 100 KD games. I'm a 1.6 KD player. That's plain and simple. 1.6 KD player. Occasionally, I'm going to get a good game that I could toss out there, but for me, I'm not going to be able to steal people like that. Like, that's how XJaws got big with his I'm a one-man army deal. That's how, XCal, because he can play a set of 14 games where he gets a 5 KD every game. But, me, it's got to be the personality.
Yeah, so I'm in a similar boat. I don't think things like that are fun. Like, I watch these guys play, and I'm not going to lie, they're damn good. They would almost always beat me. But they don't play for fun. They'd like, okay, I've got my FAMAS or my Commando, and I'm playing super tactical, super serious. For me, when I play Call of Duty, 90% of the time, I'm just going to use dual Scorpions or like a shotgun or something. Not because I expect to do awesome with, but just because it's way more fun. But then I'm kind of an asshole. I like dumping on people or hearing them scream when I kill them with dual pistols or something.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love watching XCal, because he uses those guns that nobody uses. He'll use the dual Scorpions. He'll use the Spaz. He'll use MAC-10. He'll use whatever he feels like doing. Like, I don't know. I enjoy watching him because, I don't know. I guess it's just because I like the hatefulness that he has towards the game. It's just funny. Like, everything about the game he hates, but he plays it, which kind of relates to me because I honestly absolutely hate Black Ops, but the only reason I play it is because everybody else plays it, and if I'm going to play a game, I want to play with my friends.
I don't hate Black Ops. I think Black Ops is pretty solid and pretty balanced. Where Black Ops is weak is not in it's not weak in graphics. It's not weak in gameplay mechanics. What it's weak in is it's weak. The maps are fucking small, and they're very camper friendly and close range weapon friendly. There's not a lot of distance maps. And there's too many hallways. There's not enough open spaces. And another thing they're lacking is weapon variation. For a guy that does weapon reviews all the time, I can tell you almost all of the guns in Black Ops are identical clones of each other with different skins. Like the AUG and the FAMAS, every single statistic they have is exactly the same. The same damage, the same fire rate, the same range, the same everything, except one reloads 1/10 of a second faster than the other, and the
recoil.
Yeah, it's not even tremendously different. It's just a little bit different. But what I'm saying is all the big statistics are almost the same. All the pistols, all the submachine guns, all the shotguns are about the same. There's not tremendous differences in the weapons.
But then I don't think the community knows what it wants. Like, they ask for kill streaks that don't add up on each other. They ask for more recoil. They ask for so much things, and Black Ops has it, and people still complain. We do not know what we want.
Yeah. People will never be happy because they're always going to want something. Like, everybody wanted to get rid of stopping power, but you know what? Me being a person that's always on a 3-bar connection, I've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare 2 lately, and I play a lot better on there because, you know what? That extra bullet makes a difference with the little bit of lag that I have. Because there'll be lots of times where I'm playing Black Ops, and I get the first shot on the guy, and I still lose the gunfight because with the delay on his screen, he got the first shot. But with Modern Warfare 2, with them dying one bullet quicker, that lag spike doesn't make as big of a difference.
That's what Josh found out when he looked into why there was no stopping power, is that they believed that Black Ops had a superior game or lag compensator code, so that there would be no need for stopping power to compensate for lag. That was our best guesstimate. It might not, be true.
The Modern Warfare engine will always be better than Treyarch's engine. It's more crisp, more smooth. Just the engine in Treyarch just has that laggy feeling. It's got that grainy feeling where you go and play Modern Warfare 2, it's smooth, it's crisp, all the motions are there. In that aspect, I agree with Guns for Hire when he says that and talks about it. I agree completely. Is Black Ops a better game than Modern Warfare 2? Considering the amount of work that they put into it and updating it and keeping the people happy by, changing, they took noob tubes being replenished out, they ended up changing second chance, so if you put the guy into second chance, you still get the kill. Keeping people happy, Treyarch will always be ahead of the competitor, but for putting out a game, I don't think they have exactly what it takes. Like Black Ops is a good game.
You're forgetting about the thing for PC. Half the PC players couldn't play the game until a month after it came out. It was screwed up so bad.
Yeah, but that's because Treyarch completely focused on the 360. The game was made for 360 and it was ported on to each other console. Even PlayStation 3, when it first came out, it was terrible.
Laggy as hell.
Hell
no.
You would be lucky. You would be lucky in 10 games if you stayed in one. You would just get dropped. And then you get to the loading screen, it would freeze on the loading screen. But again, this is something that they fixed, they changed. And also with the ports, I hate using reticles. I love using reticles, but I can't use them on PS3 because they're just glary, because it isn't coded properly.
Well, I didn't know about those issues, but the reason it was coded for the Xbox 360 is because that's the weaker of the three systems, with the PS3 being a little more powerful and the computer, of course, being a lot more powerful. But then beyond that, the Xbox 360 is by far the easiest thing to code for. They designed the Xbox 360 to have a lot of GPU instead of very specific processes, and they also designed it with game programmers in mind. So they're going to build it first on the Xbox 360, then they're probably going to port it to the PC next, because that's just how it works.
Similar.
Yeah, and then the PS3 is going to be last. The PS3 can do amazing things, but it's a real pain in the ass to program for unless you know what you're doing. So the conversion to PS3 is going to be the very, very last one. That's why you see the games that are made by Sony specifically for the PS3, they were usually single player. They just blow away Xbox games. And the reason why you see games on both consoles look exactly the same is because they're designed for the 364 first, and the other one's a simple port.
Yeah, I don't know. When they do the porting, they definitely got to work on the coding because it's impossible to use an ACOG scope in Black Ops because it's just so glary.
Then I give credit to
PS3 or Xbox?
On PS3.
Okay.
Xbox, everything is crisp and clear. I believe Wings of Redemption did a video on it showing the two a long time ago, showing the difference in the glare and the reticles, and it's completely true. Like, it's brutal. Like, it's hard. You lose people in the glare if they're moving around, whereas on 360, it's clear and crisp. You can see the guy completely. But I guess we should probably talk a little bit about some Let's Players and stuff. We got Wolfman a little bit involved in this.
I don't even play Black Ops, so.
Yeah.
When you were mentioning before about the newer games and stuff and the viewership, what you were talking about before, it's really weird because I sit there and I recently got into doing newer games. When Bulletstorm first came out, I jumped right on it the day it was released and started posting videos about it. Some of my subscribers, if I remember correctly, they said it was in bad taste because they didn't want spoilers. But I mean, it was a push to see an example and see if I could get more subscribers. My Bulletstorm videos still have never even approached the amount of viewers that I've gotten off of my I Want to Be the Guy videos.
It's because a lot of people want to see I Want to Be the Guy. A lot of people are interested in seeing games that are challenging, seeing people rage.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, while we've got like the most people in the stream right now, do you want to shamelessly plug your channel for everybody that's interested?
Oh, shameless! Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys should probably type that stuff in here.
I'm always open. Type. Okay, so my name's Nitro. I'm gonna start typing as soon as I get this chat box back up.
But no, Wolfman, I would definitely recommend new games. That's what a friend of mine did. He's the Rad Brad. He joined Machinima, and he had about the same amount of subscribers that I did, and he was growing faster than me because he was posting to his channel. But then he did a Dead Space 3 Let's Play when the game first came out, and his channel freaking exploded. Like, he got several million views off of his Let's Play series, and it just went excellently. And he's been doing Amnesia Let's Plays, and it got to the point where he did them so well that the Shore Wars, who's the boss of Respawn, contacted him and was like, look, we want you to do a Silent Hill 2 Let's Play every Sunday. Please make this show with us, blah, 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 blah. And if you do new games, and if you do them right, you can really capture the audience and people that can, because they're just going to be searching for gameplay or like walkthrough tips, but what they're going to kind of find you, if they like it or not.
Yeah.
So, personally, when I think about Let's Players in general, I think Chugga Conroy, the Deceased Crab, used to be a guy I watched, SS Skinner, Lord Vega, Cloud, 8745, I believe he was. I don't know, any of these people ringing a bell for anybody?
Cloud, he's the one that, or after I finally beat my first thing of I Want to Be the Guy, my friend told me that I should go and watch this guy. And watching Cloud play it, I was like, holy crap, that's exactly what I went through.
Cloud was, honestly, back in the day before he got kicked off and then just completely raged off YouTube. He was my favorite commentator by far. I loved watching his stuff. Everything he does is just hilarious.
Why did he rage off YouTube?
I don't know. He got copyright strikes, and then just people trolling him and stuff made him snap pretty much. And then he just quit. I think he ended up getting the 3 strikes and getting his channel taken off, but I think it was his own doing in a way, just because people trolled him hard. Like, because again, he was like, this was a long time ago, so 50K subs was huge. Back then.
That's pretty huge.
People just trolled and flamed him hard, so it just got him to the point where it wasn't even worth it for him.
I can't even imagine what I'd do with 50K subs. I mean, as of right now, I only have 206, but it's like,
See, I'm the smallest one out of all of you guys. Yeah. I have 31.
Well, put your thing in the chat, but Devin and Cloud, he came back, and like, this guy was so popular back then that he had people taking his videos and re-uploading them on his behalf when he wasn't even in the YouTube scene. Like, he did Justin TV for a bit, and then he stopped doing that, and then he went to Ustream. He was all over the place, but he's back on YouTube now. Definitely interesting. He's an interesting
The copyright strikes are hard, because that's one thing that's really nice about being in Machinima, is that it protects me from most copyright strikes. But game companies are in a tough spot. They have to protect their intellectual property. They can't let just everybody use it, because that'll actually cause them to lose their copyright, and the game will fall out of copyright. But allowing people to make YouTube videos is seen as essentially free marketing. And if you get somebody like CNanners playing Minecraft, that's insanely good marketing, and it can make or break a game. So they're stuck in a really difficult spot between legal and profitable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually got a couple developers from, because I was doing a little project where I was playing Xbox Live indie titles, and that actually pulled in a couple subscribers off of it. But I actually got a couple comments from some of the developers of those indie games. I just thought it was pretty cool, and I started doing Battle Kid and the Fortress of Peril, and CVAC-D actually was one of the first commentators on my first comments on my first video when I posted it up. So. Yeah. It's really a neat thing to be able to talk to a developer over video, and
that was the Let's Play that got me to watch you. That's the one that I was looking up. So
you just wanted to see if the game was good.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see if somebody could actually beat that boss. I talked to you about it before. That boss with the colors there.
Yeah, the Color Mancer boss. Yeah, she's a pain.
But that's where I found him, and I've been watching a lot of his stuff. Speaking of indie games, what was that? The Hawkins and the 1,000 Pits?
Oh, Abin Hawkins and the 1,000 Spikes. I rage at that game so many times. It's not even funny. I feel so bad when I do it, too. That's apparently one of the things that some of my subscribers really enjoy watching, is that I'm really down to earth. I don't excel unless I get good at it. Most of my excelling at a game tends to come after hours of playing through it. And for the most part, I cut out most of the hours, but keep most of the development process through my LPs.
Yeah.
So when you start from the beginning, I may not be that good at it, but by the end of the game, I'm actually performing. At least I like to think of myself as above par by the end.
You got to think, when he makes his videos, he doesn't use save states. He doesn't use anything. He plays through it flat and straight, and I respect a guy for that, because I definitely wouldn't be able to. I'd just be like, screw it, I'm not doing this anymore. But his videos are definitely fun, and he doesn't cut out too much. He builds it up so that you can see him going through every part of the game, but he cuts out a lot of the fails.
When I start really raging, I actually, unless I have something funny to say or something that I thought was clever or just something that shouldn't have been missed, I'll put it in. I make mistakes, though. In hindsight, I probably should have just left out the ending to my Batman LP, because I was so mad when I finally beat the first Batman game on the NES that I was so tired. I should have just there's certain points where I feel I should have just cut those out and not even posted them up, but some people make comments about them that they're funny. So
I just put up a video today that the ending kind of dragged on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and I think I should have cut it out, but I didn't care. I just put it up. So if anybody on the stream wants to go look at that video, it's the newest one on my channel. I left the link there. Maybe I could get my good friend Name to toss a link in the channel again.
Yeah, he tried to hop in here and was going to co-host, but it doesn't really work that well on iPhone. Or was it iPhone or is he a Droid phone? I don't know.
He just has a plain phone. He doesn't even have us.
Then what the hell was he dropping? I thought you said he was on his phone or something.
He was on his phone, but he doesn't. I don't know. He's got a regular phone. He was supposed to get. He's getting either an Android or an iPhone, his next phone, but.
Gotcha. I've tried to do I think I tried to do one with blurries when my computer was dead on the phone, and my voice was like.
I think my videos have come by a lot since I've started. I mean, it's been a learning experience since my very first video. I've been trying to go through figuring out how to edit audio to make it sound better and everything. It's been a real debate for me to go and delete most of my older videos, because my newer one, it's night and day difference. You watch my new videos like Arx Fatalis, and then you go back and watch my first Ninja Gaiden video. You'll hear me whenever I'm talking and whenever P's are coming through. It's
to do with microphones and the way you speak, or do you do the sock over the mic thing?
No, I never did that. Most of my stuff has always been going and learning how to use noise removal, canceling out wind, canceling out breathing, syncing up the audio to my video. And I used to have so many problems with video desyncing issues and stuff. And it's actually really neat. It really makes me feel good about myself to go and watch my older videos and then cringe at them, and then go watch my new videos and feel much better about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely being on YouTube isn't something that's cheap, and it's definitely not something that it's not as easy as people think. There's definitely a lot of stuff to learn, learning how to use all the programs, learning how to, personally I use Vegas, learning how to do all the color correcting, learning how to do audio syncing.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah,
it's very time consuming.
Definitely.
Well, you talking about audio sync? Does your PVR not automatically sync the audio with the video, or are you talking about syncing your voice with the video?
Syncing my voice to the video if I do like live commentaries and stuff like that.
Dude, the best thing to do is I always go like 3, 2, 1, and as soon as I say play, it's when I'm clicking the button. It makes it way easier.
Yeah, I do.
I normally have my microphone muted, and then when I'm ready to start, I'll unmute the microphone, and then I'll start having all the background noise, and I'll know where the cutoff point that I need to set it to do. And that was just something I learned, I figured out recently, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I think we're going to get the audience a little bit into this stream on this one, but we're going to talk about favorite games of all time and what made you become a gamer. So we're going to start off with Drift0r.
What made me become a gamer? I don't know. I just grew up playing games. I couldn't tell you when I wasn't playing. I had a old, I didn't even have a Nintendo Super Entertainment System. I had a Nintendo Entertainment System with original Mario and stuff. So I've been playing games for a long time, and I guess I just kind of kept at it.
Yeah, so
I moved up to N64. Oh, sorry, what?
What game, pushed you over there? What game do you remember as a kid that, made you just fall in love with gaming?
Oh boy, let me think about that. The first game I played that I just thought was totally badass was Resident Evil 2, and I started getting more into gaming after that. Or I don't know, Mario 64 was pretty ballin' too. I couldn't tell you how much Mario 64 I played. My favorite game of all time is Silent Hill 2. I fell in love with that game just because of the story. It's hard to play now because it's so old, but it had a beautiful story and everything about the game was really ahead of its time. But if you want to talk about what defined me as a multiplayer gamer, an online gamer, it would have to be Unreal Championship on the Xbox 360. I started planning, and I got really, really godlike in Unreal Championship. I get toot my own horn again, but I was in probably the top 10 in the arena that I played in, and I was the best person in the entire game with some specific weapons, and it was really fun to just kind of be out there and have a reputation and stuff.
So, Wolfman, what about you?
I didn't actually start my gaming. Well, my first game that I can recall that actually got me interested in gaming was Zork, the old text-based games.
Zork.
My dad had an old computer, the green screen flickering. And I remember I didn't even know how to spell words at the time, so I'd constantly call him up and say, "Dad, how do you spell this so I can do this?" And he'd just slam a dictionary on the table and got fed up with trying to help me through the game. So, I mean, the game started to get me thinking. I could never get past the first waterfall, or the waterfall in the game for anybody who's familiar with it. And from there, it spread out into games like Karateka, when I started actually comprehending graphics and stuff like that. And Karateka, Montezuma's Revenge, those were my old action platformers that I started, or action games. And from there, say what?
Wait, to tell you the truth, I never played any of those games. My first game ever on PS3 was Modern Warfare 2. I used to play some of the Game Boy Color crap and some Nintendo 64, the Pokemon edition. And I used to love to play Pokemon. It was my favorite game, and Pikachu and all those people. I don't remember all the names. I haven't played that. Pikachu. Yeah, I remember that. Go.
I fell in love with those games, and what really, really got me into games was actually the old games, for anybody who may remember them, Wizardry and Might and Magic. The old dungeon crawler games, I actually got really into those games because I'd draw my maps out. And that actually got me into level designing because I'd be drawing out my maps, planning things out, setting up large parties, and developing everything, and then going through them and playing the game. Spending hours and hours on them with friends, just sitting there developing these maps and stuff. And from there, I actually then got an NES, played Mario, and started going through there. Enjoyed Legend of Zelda, but I wasn't as on board with Legend of Zelda as other people. I actually fell in love with Legend of Zelda 2 more than the first Legend of Zelda. And it's been I wouldn't say a downward spiral, but it's been just a constant, like, I've been so elated into video games ever since playing Zork that it's just been a constant thing for me. So...
funny thing you might know is that Zork is actually on Black Ops.
As in, like...
Oh, yeah, it is.
You when you're in the chair at the beginning, you can break out of it and go to the computer, and you can actually play Zork on the computer in Black Ops at the main menu.
Funny, you're right. Dude, I played just a little bit last night, and I was so bewildered. It was like, there is a mailbox. I said, open. Cannot open door. Walk. Where do you want to walk to? And I'm like, oh, man, this is going to take a little while.
Yeah. Now picture a kid who doesn't know how to spell trying to play that game.
Oh, man. That's me.
Bombardment of questions to my dad saying, how do you spell tree? Here's a dictionary. Look it up. Best lessons you can give a kid.
Yeah.
To have them look it up themselves.
Definitely. You must
You're going to learn something, damn it.
Yeah. Stop asking me questions. Just play the game.
For sure. Actually, I remember in elementary school, I used to, every time we got to play on the computer, Cross Country Canada. I don't know, and none of you probably know because you're not Canadian, but it was the same deal, you know, get in your vehicle, put key in ignition, start vehicle, you be riding down, it starts raining, turn on windshield wipers, and you basically have to introduce, damn you. Okay, everybody, Street Soul's here now, and I was reading and instead of talking about what I wanted to say.
Just now hopped in?
Sorry, I had to do some stuff. And I'm
Little bit late, buddy.
I'm
a little
really
bit late.
Not a little bit. I'm probably super late. How late am I, to be exact?
You missed about
30 minutes? 40 minutes?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're
like
pretty
the last
late.
subject.
But,
Like the last subject.
No, we're...
Well,
I
here,
needed to get
so
in
that's
on
all
this
that
one
matters.
because after I heard Drift0r, I was like so pissed because I left like at 1 and got back 4. So I had to do a bunch of.
Wait, what did I do to piss you off?
No, he's got a man crush on you.
Not pit. Shut up.
A man crush. That ties back to the very first thing we talked about in the...
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it does.
I don't even know any of the subjects so far, so enlighten me on what we're talking about as
We were talking about big dogs and little dogs, and
Yeah.
Little ponies.
2 fists or something. I don't remember exactly the subject content.
Yeah, I think I made it. He's talking about big dogs and little dogs, and I'm like, yeah, this could very easily be a what's it called? A very inappropriate porn. Yeah, a porn movie. Like, I'll be the big guy, you be the little guy.
But yeah, currently we're talking about video games.
Which ones? Old favorites?
Old favorites, yes.
Just like last week?
Yeah, we've got different
Alright,
people this
alright.
time.
Well,
But we got an audience. I'm streaming. It's beautiful.
Okay,
so
cool.
stream. Now's your time. I read a couple of yours already. Some people liked Pokemon Silver, and that's
I
the
love
only
that
one.
one.
It's the only one I picked up on. Duke Nukem Total Meltdown.
Oh,
See
yeah.
that one?
Oh man, that was
do you
fun.
guys want me to share mine?
People agree with
Yes,
responses.
please.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Thanks for that. That feels great.
Final Fantasy,
Final Fantasy's great. I like that.
Half-Life we're getting.
Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 1 are
Yeah.
just
Those
legit.
on Half-Life 2 blew me away.
Portal, that's like one of your personal favorites, Street Soul.
Yeah, I was gonna say Portal's probably one of my old favorite, like not like nostalgic games, but out of like maybe like last 2 years or so, I'd probably say either Heavy Rain or Portal are my favorite games because I mean Heavy Rain has the most epic graphic structure and like gameplay style. And for those of people who don't know it, you should go look it up because it is a PS3 exclusive, I think.
Yeah.
Right, Nitro?
Yeah,
I
PS3
think so, yeah.
exclusive. The only problem with Heavy Rain is a problem that I've seen a lot in other games, in that they didn't push the envelope in terms of what they were trying to deliver.
What?
I love Heavy Rain, and I'm not about to spoil the ending for anybody who's never seen it, because the actual ending should never be spoiled for Heavy Rain because they didn't push the envelope. What they described was to deliver an experience that just opens up. You have multiple decisions, it affects the end of the game kind of thing, but then
It's
at
just
the
like
end
being
of
a
the thing,
game.
yeah, like any good mystery game or mystery novel, when you know the ending, all the suspense is gone. You now know who did it. And what they could have done was set it up to where no matter when you start the game, you won't know who did it. But instead, you now know who did it. So if somebody spoils it for you, it's just like a mystery novel, and it's just a pretty one to look at. And it's been so hard.
That's what I heard. Like, what is it's true that no matter what decisions you make, the killer is always the same.
Yeah.
It's just like on Grand Theft Auto. You know how you had the whole. If you played Grand Theft Auto 4, you know how whenever one of the characters die during the wedding. And it depends on your decisions on who you were going to kill. Or there's only, I think, 3 or 2 courses you can go with that, and it decides the ending, which I thought was pretty cool, even though I played it like 4 times and got maybe the same character killed twice on both times. So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto has that same kind of branching endings that I like to see.
I just wish they could have followed through with it, because they delivered from start to finish. They had an aura of suspense where you didn't know who it could have been. It could have been any one of the characters.
Yeah.
And then they would have actually left it up to, depending on what actions were taken, any one of the characters could have ended up being the killer. It would have made the game that much better for me, because I had it spoiled for me, and I haven't played the game yet. Yeah.
See, I'm watching a playthrough of it after I only played like a little bit of it, because I haven't even bought the game yet. And I played the demo. But I'm watching a guy named Spoon, or The Camping Tree on YouTube, play it, who is a really epic commentator, one of my favorites to watch, and his playthrough is just phenomenal. I've been watching it for the past month now, and I really want to play the game. I don't want to watch the last episode, though. I want to fix what he did wrong in some points, but not watch the ending, which is going to kill me until I buy the game.
There was a game on PS2. It was Shadow of something. It wasn't Shadow of Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus?
It wasn't Shadow of the Colossus. It was Shadow of something. And there's only like one person that's done a Let's Play of it on YouTube, 1 or 2 people. But the other person's like foreign. But basically what you do is you're this guy, and you have powers to travel back in time. So there's this person that's pretty much out to kill you. So you'll play through the game, and you'll get killed. And then you go back in time, and you have to prevent your death. So, like, you know, at the beginning, you're in a deserted area of town, and a guy comes and he kills you. Hits you with a truck. So, basically, you have to get into an area of town that has lots of people, so that can't happen. You know, there's another point.
That's kinda neat.
There's another point where you're in a library, and you're up in the top level of the building, and he pushes you over. So you have to go back into time and put a rope there so that you can grab onto the rope when he pushes you over the ledge in order to save your life. You know, and then there's like another point where he stabs you in the back with a knife, so you get a street sign or a pot, and you put it on your back, so when he stabs you, he hits the pot. And, you know, so basically that's all you have to do is you keep getting killed, and you go back in time and prevent your death.
That's so stupid.
Until it's honestly an awesome game. I watched
it. Sounds like it'd be fun. Like, it reminds me a lot of, like, the early Heavy Rain. The early Heavy Rain, to me, is an old PS2 game called Indigo Prophecy, which was...
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That is a great game. That is a great game. That's what I thought you were going to say, Nitro, whenever you started talking past Heavy Rain. Because Indigo Prophecy, Nitro hasn't played it, Titans fan hasn't played it, and last week Chaos Silencer didn't know what it was you were talking about either.
I've played Indigo Prophecy. I know what you're talking about.
You have?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't tell me you did.
Oh, I've had it. I've watched it. I watched the beginning we played. You're in the room, whatever. You like.
Yeah, it's just like Heavy Rain,
at
right?
The beginning, yeah, sort of.
And it has those like weird sections where you suddenly become a superhero, though. But the game is like phenomenal.
Yeah.
For the graphics then and the gameplay then that's probably one of my favorite story-based games back then. But if I was going to talk about my favorite nostalgic old video game, I'd probably still go with Castlevania 2.
I love that game. I thought I was one of the only ones that enjoyed that game, and when I saw the last...
I mean, yeah, Video Game Nerd kind of just demolished it. So did Ego Raptor.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's not that bad. I mean,
it's like not that bad, but it's still funny the way they analyzed it.
Analyzed it.
Yeah.
Analyzed it.
I don't even notice the day to night transitions normally. I mean, when I look for it, it's annoying, but while I'm playing it, it's like okay, whatever, and then I'm back into it. I don't even understand
what the whole point of that is. They don't make it any harder.
Well, yeah, the enemies get take more damage. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
See, the game I'm talking about is
guys.
called Shadow of Destiny.
Let me butt in here for a second.
Shadow of Destiny. Okay, yeah.
Shadow of Destiny.
See, what are these? I've never heard of any of these games, I swear.
You're not a nostalgic player.
I've got a question coming in here from one of our viewers. He's also got me on Skype. He wanted to know, in your opinion, what's the best kind of commentary? A kick-ass game, fun games, rage games, what?
It depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what you're looking for. Because if you're looking for a game that's entertaining, but you want to be serious about it, you got to go with an action game. Which, when the commentator's actually not really...
No, I mean, he's talking about games that show off how talented you are, or if they're fun, or fails, or what?
Oh, well, commentating on Black Ops is probably the best for fails sometimes, if you're doing live commentary.
Yeah. I think the best type of commentary is more of a circumstantial one, because, like with my videos, things happen all the time, and if you can't really roll with whatever's happening and come up with something funny to say, or something interesting to say about it, then it'll just be a boring video with stuff happening. The commentator really, it's all circumstantial. Every game you can just be walking and fall. Like, for instance, with Red Dead Redemption, just as an example. New game, seems pretty flawless, but the one time I go to hijack a train, I jump, I land on the train, and then shoot straight up into the air. And it's like, what the hell's going on? Where's the train? And then you just fall all the way down and die. And it's like, okay, and there's a wolf. It's now taking apart my body. That's great. Thanks a lot, game. Yeah. And if you can't roll with stuff like that, then there's not. I mean, stuff happens all the times in games because I don't think any games are perfect.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you're playing those story games where it's all linear. Well, I mean, still, sometimes you can get those glitches where it just completely ruins what you're doing, and you have to adapt to what's going on, especially in live commentary. You can't talk about what you're doing the entire time, or it gets really, really boring. I had a whole series of like 48 episodes on Minecraft, and it was just the most boring thing ever until I learned how to actually commentate live.
I don't know. I like informative commentaries where if somebody has a question, I could actually answer it after.
I like live commentaries. I don't know. You kind of see how I play, how I react, and I rage a lot. So some people like
rage is funny. Rage commentaries.
Live commentaries you have to know how to roll with, especially with the rage, because sometimes you think you're going to do awesome, and then you get hit by a tomahawk, or the host quits, or something annoying like that.
If you like rage, you should definitely watch my
live
commentaries. Yeah, watch my live commentaries.
You should name your live commentaries, I just got one-shotted.
Yeah. Okay, next question. This is from Gamers for Life 13. Drift0r, you are my favorite commentator. I found you on Machinima. Just wondering, how long did it take you to get big, and do you have any tips?
Okay, I already typed that into the box. I didn't know we were taking questions. I don't consider myself to be a big commentator. I haven't even hit 25,000 yet, so in the grand scheme of things, I'm at the very lower end of medium. I'm not even a proper medium yet. The only tips I have is that you want to, first of all, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. There's only like 2 or 3 people that ever got popular overnight. It's not going to happen to you, and you have to experiment. You have to play around and find a show that the audience likes, and once they like it and it works for you, then you need to roll with it and make that show on a regular basis. Once you get a regular basis show going on, people are going to know what to come back for, what kind of defines the channel, the theme, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Favorite poop?
See, my personal question is, what do you have to do to get on Machinima?
Nowadays, it's almost impossible. Yeah, even if you know somebody, it's really hard because they actually bloated. They took on more directors than they can handle, which is why they put in a quota now to cut the uploads to the channel. And they used to discourage directors from uploading to their channel, and they're like, no, we want everything on Respawn. And now they're like, oh my God, put everything on your channel and only put the best stuff on Respawn, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, Respawn started about 5 months ago?
No. You started doing that, or?
No, it started really uploading a lot, like about 5 or 6 months ago, and then it got like before YouTube changed their homepage layout with the subscriptions, like for each person gets their own little 3 video bar of what they recently uploaded or something. Mm-hmm. Before that, it used to be filled with a whole bunch of just Machinima videos. And
Yeah, what happened is people started unsubscribing and complaining.
Yeah,
People
I know.
complain about everything, so
People, there's people. There was one guy, he left a comment on one of my videos calling me a fat ass, and then I went to his channel because I was gonna block him, and I went and looked at all his recent comments, and it was just him trolling everybody that he left a
so
comment about.
stupid. That's fucking those people who just want to fuck up people.
That's all people do. Like,
I saw one on Name You Can't Hate's channel, which made me laugh because he's like, "Oh wow, you have like this many subscribers, and you freaking no life, dude. Just get a life." And then I went to his channel. He has one video, no subscribers, not even a background color change at all. It's just all white. And all his recent comments were just trolling, like, I don't know, 3 of my favorite, like, I don't know, up and coming directors.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I
There's a
don't
lot
have
of people
like that. I have a nice small group of people, and they I don't even get that many comments. That's the one thing that I look forward to in my
I look
videos,
for comments
is actually
too.
getting people to
Same here.
comment,
Yeah, I like
give me
comments.
feedback over what I'm doing.
my subs.
Now I'm
say
getting a
what
lot
I'm-
of likes. My like ratio are going way up now because all my subs love to like now for some reason. They're just like my best video probably has I think about 54 likes and like 1 dislike, which is pretty decent for a small class commentator like
It's
myself.
funny. I've seen people who just go up to videos and dislike them, not even seeing them. Just
Yeah, I
to fuck,
know. Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
fuck around with people.
Yeah.
You
Fuel.
did that to me.
Just like-
twice.
Everybody remember Fuel
Some people
HD
just want to
Gamer?
watch the world
Fuel,
burn.
Yeah.
Fuel Gaming
Like
HD. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He used to come to all my videos. Why are you trying to sound like Only Use Me Blade? Like I'm not. Every video. Oh, you should just be yourself. You sound like Only Use Me Blade. I'm like, man, like I'm just talking like I normally talk. I'm not.
An embarrassing story for myself is whenever I first started doing commentary, because I really wanted to after watching Tobuscus do all these commentaries and stuff, because he's the one who got me into it, and I stole so many Tobuscus lines and and stuff like that, and recently I got a comment on a really old video of mine. Your commentary reminds me a lot of Tobuscus, and then I commented back, you should check my new stuff because I'm nothing like that now. And I'm proud that I developed my own way of doing things. It's a lot better than copying someone else because it's just so bad.
Okay, question for everybody. Would you rather be a small channel with a bunch of active subs or a big channel with trolls and some active subs?
I'd rather have a small channel. Because for me, like, I don't know, I'd rather have my subscribers like my videos and everything than having a huge channel that everybody just dislikes my videos and acts like dumbasses. That's from my perspective.
Well, I see the big channel that you subscribed as Name You Can't Hate's channel, kind of, because he does get a lot of views. They are pretty active, but he gets those trolls half the time. And also, about half his subs watch it. That's a good ratio for the amount of people he has so far. But my channel,
dude,
I
I've
have
only got,
400
I
and
don't-
something. And
I'd rather be big because if you're going to be a big channel or you're going to be a small channel, if you're a small channel with a lot of active subs, small channels are always going to have a view ratio that is a lot greater than the amount of subs they have. Like my ratio is about 145%. But if I'm a big channel, and even if my ratio is only like 50%, I'm going to have so many subs that I'm still going to have 20,000 more views than...
Well, define big
Or you
channel
could be-
versus small channel, because
well,
I
big
have
channel would
Yeah,
be
that's pretty
25,000.
I have something like 18,750 minutes worth of content on my channel. And that's, for at least the way I look at it, that's kind of huge, considering that some of the other people who have 5,000 subs have maybe 20, 50 some odd videos.
I have 100
sometimes.
videos on my channel. I just put up my 100th video.
Like,
yesterday.
not trolling on the Aviator, but he does not have as much. I have way more videos than him, and he has like, I'm saying like 15,000 already.
But the quality of his videos are tenfold the quality of your videos.
Obviously, and he had help with
he's-
Woody's gamer tag.
He's 100% the personality. Everybody loves him because he is the personality. He brought
Dude,
something
that man
fresh.
jumps out of airplanes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He brought something
I give him
fresh.
credit. Yeah, he's like one of those adventurous guys, and you could tell that's how he is outside of YouTube. So
Well, I know one of
thing
the
is-
hardest things about this is... I'm sorry, you were about to say something.
I was going to talk about the Aviator, I'm sorry.
No.
But the only thing is that he responds to most other people that are like Nitro. He's a smaller channel than I am, and he responded to him But whenever I sent a message asking him a question, or not even asking for help, he never even responded back to me. Which is
well, the depends. Do you have any idea how hard it is to answer all the questions you get in one day?
Exactly.
Yeah, he is pretty popular.
And I was around the Aviator well before I was around him when he only had like 1,000 subs, so kind of remembers who I am, you know.
Okay.
But I like Aviator. Aviator is pretty good. I like his content.
Yeah,
see, like my inbox, I just type into Skype, looks kind of like that. Like that's the amount of questions I get in a day, and it's not easy to go through those. I don't answer all of them. Some of the ones that look like somebody like smashed their face into the keyboard and try and rearrange the letters into a sentence, they don't get answered.
Yeah. One of the biggest difficulties for me is as a new channel, and I say new channel because I really didn't actually start getting subscriptions until I think mid last year. I think I saw an explosion, quote unquote, of subscribers. I mean, I had been hovering for almost 2.5 years at around 80 subscribers, and now I'm up to 200 or 208.
I think that's a lot because I put you in my sub box.
I don't know what it's from. I mean, I have no idea that YouTube doesn't give that much information. But,
Wait,
I mean, the biggest problem.
Who is Edward Hackman?
He is Wolfman.
Oh, sorry, Wolfman11983.
Oh, he's Wolfman. Okay.
Yeah, I guess
okay.
derp.
Yeah, I actually have more subs than you, so I thought you were way more than I had.
This feels like
you had way more than I had.
My channel video to autoplay?
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
Oh yeah,
I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that.
I never even thought of doing that unless I came up with an intro thing. But I mean, I had a thought and I completely derailed it. The idea that I was trying to express was that me being like new, I'm trying new things. Like I have a show that I was trying to come up with called What the Fudge, because I say what the fudge all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's an idea of, say something pisses me off. Like I missed the boat on it. It's a little late to do a What the Fudge on the PlayStation Network, but man, what the fudge. The original one that I did, or the first one I did, was on Portal 2, and apparently the opinion was from the people that have watched it. They sent me comments saying, "Yeah, you know, I can agree with that. That's kind of cool. We like that. We like how you presented it." Say what?
What were some of the things that you talked about Portal?
Portal 2. I like the game. Have no problems with it, but the shop bothered the hell out of me. $15 to go in, or not $15. It was like $5 or $6, $7 to get a top hat. That you're not even going to see that often. Has anybody played the game and seen the shop? For me, as a gamer, I'm not familiar with Team Fortress 2. I've never seen Team Fortress. I don't really care about Team Fortress 2. Some people do. And from what I understand, the company, Valve, has put a statement straight up saying that when you buy stuff in Team Fortress 2, it goes to donations or something like that. That's fine. Nowhere in Portal 2, forums, game, nowhere is it ever mentioned that the proceeds are going to anything. Straight out of Portal 2, if you've never played it, you see a $7.95 monocle that, I mean, as in multiplayer, when you're playing it, you don't even get to really see each other that often to really merit having a small, tiny flag that costs $5. And it's like,
I agree.
Why in the world are you charging this much when other games, like free-to-play MMOs, I play a lot of games. I have a huge amount of experience with the free-to-play MMO scheme, the idea of buying virtual money and spending it on little gimmicks that'll make your avatar look a little different, look special. But in Portal, the little things that they give you, they don't alter the characters, they don't do anything, and you don't see them that often. It's a first-person shooter, so why are you decking yourself out on something? There's no free score multiplayer deal. You're just gonna sit there and look at it, and that was basically what I thought. Or you're not gonna look at it, but it's just there, and it costs you $5 for a little flag, and nowhere does it say anything about proceeds going anywhere. As far as you're concerned, that's money that's going straight into the bank that Valve is getting, or whoever it is that's getting it, and that's it.
Well, Valve does need money because what was that game that kind of flopped at first, but then really every commentator started playing it? Amnesia, I think.
Dark Descent.
Well, that wasn't a flop game. That was very much so an independent game. A niche game. That's a good word.
I love it.
Well, it started out really like for the first 2 months, no one even looked at it, but then one or two or three commentators picked it up, and then everyone just went out and got that game. I know I played it for a little bit. Scared the hell out of me.
Doesn't
That's
work
for
on
sure.
my laptop, so I went and I have it, but I can't play it. It stinks.
Yeah,
I love
the game
horror
needs like
games.
so many updated drivers and everything. My laptop
I-
barely even ran it.
Integrated Intel graphics card. Gotta love those. The game flat out says need not apply if you have this graphics card, and I happen to have it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice.
That stinks.
Okay, so let's get into the next portion because we gotta wrap this up. Drifters gotta get going. So let's go babe of the week quick to get
Can I go
everybody
on this one?
visual. Yeah, go ahead, Wolfman. I know you already got
Okay.
this planned out.
Karima Abedibidibi. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Adevive. The best way you can look her up is to basically just say, who's the new Lara Croft model?
Oh.
And I've gotten a kick on Tomb Raider because the new game that's coming out, and that's the babe of the week that I can think of right
That's
now.
great.
She's
Drifter?
pretty hot.
Hold up, I'm getting a picture for visual reference because you've probably never seen this girl before.
Betty.
Betty
White.
Here we go.
It's
No,
just-
here we go.
My
What a
Little
new
Pony.
Lara
I don't even know the name. It's in the chat box. Check it out.
Nice.
Yeah, all you got to do is a Google search for her. Anybody who's listening, just type in new Lara Croft model, and then boom, pictures of her will show up all over the place in the images, and it's.
No, I feel kind of
seriously
out of
gorgeous.
place on the babe of the week because I'm getting married soon and I don't even have TV or anything, so all these names are just like completely foreign to me.
Beyonce week.
Oh, with that new girl from Modern Family, the Hispanic one. Oh my God. I don't
Modern
know.
Family's funny.
See, no
Yeah,
TV.
that
I don't even know what you're talking
Hispanic
about.
one. Oh my God.
Jessica,
Okay, Hispanic, gotcha.
Jessica Elba.
Mine.
Jessica Elba. Anybody?
Yeah, she's hot, but like she's. I don't know. She.
I was trying to
obviously, I'm
know.
not. But she's ugly. She's
Yeah.
obviously not ugly, but. I don't.
Oh,
I
no,
have to
what?
say
Name.
mine
She's on
would
like
be,
a crush. Yours would be
You're
you
just
got
still
me.
talking, so how am I supposed to talk over you? You just keep talking about Hispanic people.
Oh no, you go. Just go straight to
Alright, alright. Mine's probably gonna be Katy Perry, just because I still
yeah.
cannot get E.T. out of my head.
Katy Perry.
You'd
Okay.
strength that you would think-
Was she in E.T. the Extraterrestrial?
She
No,
was.
she has a song called Extraterrestrial.
Extra testicle?
Yeah.
I think that's what she has.
That's nasty.
Okay.
Alright.
So let's get into the finale, I suppose. There is a question here. This isn't the finale, but what survival horror games other than Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2 do you enjoy? I'm guessing that's towards Drifter.
Yeah, I already punched in here. I like the older Resident Evil games, not the new ones that are all action. Like I'm Chris Redfield, let's go kill some goddamn zombies. Kablam, kapow. That's
I
not
have
fun.
biceps that dwarf Hulk Hogan's.
Yeah, the older ones, like the first one, I guess all the way up until, I guess Code Veronica would probably be the last one, even though that one got more actiony. The old ones where you actually have to conserve your ammo, run from the zombies, solve puzzles, and not like, God damn, a 10-foot monster, let's blow stuff up. That's
Like
that's
Zero?
Gears of War. I don't
See,
want to
those
play
are the-
Gears of War. If I want to play Gears of War, I would get Gears of War, not Resident Evil.
Those are the ones I like. I like 4 and I like 5.
See, but that
I
dicks
just-
up the genre. It was survival horror, and now it's like zombie McSplatter action time.
But one thing that I've noticed is that as graphics have gotten better in games, games have got less scary. Like I remember Clock Tower. I used to be petrified.
Ugh.
The one on PlayStation. I used to be
first one?
petrified. I remember my friend's birthday party. It was just a bunch of us sitting in the dark while he was playing. And I remember this one part when you're in the second level in the house where the scissor guy jumps from the top balcony down in front of you. Like, it's just petrifyingly scary, that game. Same with Clock Tower 3. That was still scary, too. But
Well, one of the biggest problems with newer games, too, is they fall into the mold of horror. I call it Stephen King syndrome.
Oh,
For anybody who reads Stephen King novels,
I've
I've only
seen
read a
some.
couple
I've
of
seen
them, or even the movies. You start off extremely suspenseful. You are just wired. You can't. This monster is amazing, and then he shows the monster, and suddenly it just goes downward from there. With
agree
all the Resident
completely
Evil
with you.
games, it starts off intimidating. Holy crap! This dog scared the crap out of me as it jumped out of the window. Oh, now I've got a 12 gauge and I have 60 shots of ammo. Dog gone, no problem. Dead Space, great example. You start off, it's intimidating, it's terrifying, the setting is amazing, it's suspenseful, and then you get your equipment. And you're suddenly a god among men. And you're just this walking slaughterhouse. Like, in one of my favorite horror examples, horror settings, is the games where you feel helpless. And one of the good ones was Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth.
Oh my god, that game was fun.
You play that, when you start, you don't even get a weapon for the first 45 minutes of the game. You are immersed in the atmosphere.
Dude, even when you get a weapon, what the fuck does it kill? It's like last ditch. I remember running through apartment complexes, slamming doors, and they have to like beat the doors down, and you have to run. It's like a randomly generated maze.
When I was going to video game school to learn how to develop design games and stuff like that, my teacher, that was my when I was going to school, that game wasn't out yet, and my idea was I had to take a movie called Dark City. Anybody familiar with that?
That's a good movie too. Okay. The director's cut's about ballin'.
Yeah, look at that movie. The main character, he can't compete with anything. He's got to run away. He's got to use what he's got to figure out how to escape. That was my theme that I wanted to set up for gameplay, and my director said, "Can you slide or jump?" And I said, "No, it's not really part of the gameplay." And he's like, "Your game's going to suck." No. And then soon afterwards, games like Mirror's Edge came out, where it's all reactionary based. You sit there and you react quick on your feet, use the game's mechanics to get up and escape things, because combat's not the focus. The highlight of Call of Cthulhu is the escape portions, where you're running away from giant monsters, running away from an entire city out to kill you. It's very, very suspenseful. And
just like Amnesia.
Yes, Amnesia does it too, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to play it.
Do you even get any weapons in Amnesia? I don't think you do.
No, you can't even kill anything. You have to escape. You have to run no matter what. You have to hide. You have to conserve like your oil and your lantern. You can't be in the dark or you'll die.
That's the whole point of the game being scary, is that if it doesn't actually pose a threat to you, you can make the monster look hideous, but if it's not going to make you jump and think, fuck, I'm going to lose like 2 hours of gameplay here, then it's not actually scary. It's not the same jolt to the system, which I guess I always go back to the old Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. The bad graphics helped with that. I mean, the being vulnerable was one thing, but the Pyramid Head was creepy, and he would fuck you up too. But they helped because it was not so much about what you could see, it's what you couldn't see. And when you would see stuff, it would be very fast, and it would wreck you, so you knew you had to avoid it, and your imagination would end up doing most of the work.
So I've also
even though
other games
when you see it, it just like blows your mind, and you get that huge adrenaline rush, and you're just like, you get pumped, and then you get scared.
Mm-hmm. There's other elements too to the horror games that, I mean, games will try things different too. There's some, I don't know if you all have ever heard of it, but it's a game called Haunting Grounds. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
It's not the best game, but what it tried to do is something that's neat. I think it's very along the lines of Clock Tower and how you try to hide from the villain or something. And the weird thing it's got some of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in a game, because just about everybody, they're either out to kill you or rape you. And your only defense, literally, there's the first guy that's trying to kill you is this giant retard, and it starts off, he thinks you're a doll, he thinks you're a toy. So if he catches you, you just hear the sounds of him thumping you on the ground and literally breaking every bone in your body. However, halfway through the first section of the game, the retard suddenly realizes that you're a woman, and is like, I'm a man. I have parts. I need to use these parts. And suddenly the death game over is him actually raping you with the horrible sound effects. I'm like, no, game over. Never want to see this again. And your only defense is a German Shepherd. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool, having a dog that'll come, building a relationship with a dog to help you try to overcome these.
That was great. Like in Fable 2, when the end of the game gave me all my choices, I chose to bring my doggy back.
I did too.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
Evilest son of a bitch in the world, but I brought my dog back. I didn't care about the money.
Yeah, I had like the evil marks all over me, and I had no shirt on, so I was like seeing all these like lines everywhere, and I was like super badass. And I'm just like, money? Dog.
I own the city. I don't care about money. What the heck? That's a lame ending.
No, the sad thing was, I remember I went and talked to the big woman whose father died, and she's like, well, I'm glad you got what you wanted. I guess I'll never see my father again, and I'm sitting there, but I like my doggy.
Yeah, she pissed me off. I'm like, okay, what did you do to help? Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So
It's really hard to do though, because you got to grip people, and there's a lot of people who just don't find them. Wouldn't find like Amnesia is not for everybody. Running away from things. Some people want to have the big sword to kill the monster with. Some people want to have the meteor rock to deal with it. But for most people who are really serious about horror games, taking that meteor rock and slamming it into its chest as a crab form, that's just goofy. It's hella stupid. I want to see it pull more kids into pipes and stuff. I want him to be the super monster that's taking out all the kids in the city. So.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to get into the final segment, which is the Millionaire Challenge. I'm going to let you guys decide which way you want to do this. If you want to work together or if you want to answer separately. You can answer separately just by sending me a Skype message of what your answer is, or you can work together. It's your choice. So, Drift0r and Wolfie, pick what you think.
Okay.
You can say it out loud. You don't have to type it.
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me.
All right.
What about you, Drift?
I'll say out loud. I'm good. We'll work together.
Okay, you'll work together.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
So, question number uno. Of course, starting off with Call of Duty. This is why I said we should probably work together. Which of these maps is interactive? Is it A, Radiation, B, WMD, C, Firing Range, or D, Grid?
Gonna have to leave that up to you because I have no experience in that.
It's Radiation. Although technically Firing Range is interactive because you can change the way the dummies move.
I guess so. But yes, the answer is Radiation.
No, like God, I'm gonna share this story. In Firing Range, I remember I threw a sticky grenade and it hit one of the dummies that's swinging back and forth, and there was a guy charging at me, and I shot the dummy to make it spin around and make the sticky grenade face him, and he saw it, and he shot it and turned it around to face me, and then I shot it one more time to turn around and face him, and it blew up and killed him.
Did you say that replay, I bet?
Well, that's interesting. All right. So, question number 2. The Crash Bandicoot series was at the peak of its popularity when 5 games were released on what system? Is it A, Nintendo 64, B, Sega Genesis, C, Sony PlayStation, or D, Atari Jaguar?
Sony PlayStation.
Yeah, it's
That
obvious.
is correct.
Come on, man.
I
This is like
remember
the $500 questions.
The
Wasn't he the pilot
$200
character?
question. What do you want? You got to go in order here. Question number 3. Which of the following was not a version of the Game Boy? Is it A, Game Boy Advanced, B, Game Boy Pocket, C, Game Boy Color, or D, Game Boy Future?
What the hell's that?
Game Boy. That's a trick question, isn't it? I'd have to go with Game Boy Future because I've never heard of that before.
And that's correct.
Wow, okay.
Question number 4. The PlayStation and PlayStation 2's controllers have buttons on the right-hand side that are represented by what? Is it A, shapes, B, letters, C, numbers, or D, mathematical symbols?
I'm gonna go with shapes.
Shapes.
That is correct.
On what?
God.
What was the question?
Okay, whatever. We just
You can
go.
just watch next
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just gonna watch myself be dumb.
Okay, question number 5. In Final Fantasy X, which are the critters that you can summon into battle called? Is it A, relics, B, summon creatures?
Aeons.
Okay, C, Aeons or guardian forces. Aeons is correct.
Someone's a Final Fantasy player.
I played Final Fantasy X. Sorry.
My
I don't like
my
those
favorite
games.
type of question coming up right now. Question number 6. Which of the following robots is not a boss in Mega Man 4? Is it A, Dive Man, B, Ring Man, C, Dust Man, or D, Star Man?
Dust
Like
Man.
that.
What was the first one?
A, Dive Man, B, Ring Man, C, Dust Man, or D, Star Man?
Hold up.
Starman, though. Starman.
Is that your final answer?
I would say Starman is my final answer. Is that okay with you, Drift0r?
I think so. Dude, you're just gonna have to go for it. I'm pretty sure.
You do have lifelines. You do have lifelines.
No, go with Starman. Go with Starman. We'll do this.
I'm about to do an LP of 4, so
Starman, your final answer?
I'm pretty certain it's Starman.
And you're correct.
I was gonna say
job.
Dust Man.
Dustman's definitely in the game because he gives me hella problems. That's the whole reason I haven't done the LP yet.
Yeah. Oh, Dustman's easy.
Him and Skullman, so.
Skullman.
I'm having some trouble.
Skullman was the first guy I beat when I played Mega Man 4. Skullman and Dive Man. Alright. Question number 7. Soul Calibur is a sequel of what game? Is it A, Soul Blade, B, Zion Calibur, C, Soul Hunter, or D, Evil Zone?
A.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
And you're correct.
They're good at this, guys.
MLG right here.
Here's an interesting one for you. Question number 8. The creation of Pac-Man was inspired by what? Is it A,
Oh, I know it.
a ghost thought to have been seen by the designer, B, a hockey puck, C, a pizza, or D, an orange?
Think of Scott Pilgrim.
It's the hockey puck. Yeah, I guess Scott Pilgrim did
Hold
it
up, I
too.
thought it was the pizza.
I'm pretty certain it was the hockey puck.
Yeah,
So.
I agree with Edward.
Street
You're,
Soul,
you're not even in this, Street Soul.
You're not even in this, Street Soul.
You're a lifeline.
Yeah.
I'm a lifeline?
No,
No, Street
Street
Soul.
Soul is a lifeline.
He's the person competing. I'm pretty certain it was a hockey puck, though.
Alright, well then I'll roll with your choice. You helped me through Dustman, so.
You do have lifelines if you're uncertain.
And what are these lifelines?
50-50, own a friend, and ask the audience. We actually have an audience to ask today, so...
Okay, we'll ask the audience. Or do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's ask the audience. That's fine. I remember the pizza. thing
Okay,
too, but I'm pretty sure
audience.
it's the hockey puck.
Audience in the stream, voting A, B, C, or D, vote now.
You
C's
guys,
the hockey puck, correct?
We only
We got
got
2 votes for
two
C.
people that voted C, which is
We
pizza.
will ask Google.
same person.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
some
they-
C's coming.
Yeah, C is the hockey puck, correct?
Oh, C
Okay,
is
yeah,
pizza.
apparently it's C. It's C.
C is the pizza. We got a B and an A.
And an ABCD.
These people are fucking with us now.
Yeah, I know. That's not very helpful at all.
Add audience.
I could have sworn it was the hockey puck. So
Okay, let's go with Hockey Puck, man. I'm gonna trust you.
Hockey puck. All right. I'm sorry, but that is incorrect.
oh
What
my
is it?
god, you're kidding me.
It was the pizza.
I knew it. I was thinking
make
because
any
it's the way he looks when it's half eaten. It looks like Pac-Man.
That's true.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Namco designer was eating pizza with his coworkers, and when he removed the first piece, he glanced at the shape that the pie made, and that was his vision. The character was originally called Puck-Man. But they
See, that's what I thought it was.
They
Oh
went
my
with
god.
A because they were fearful of what could be scratched from Puck-Man. So they
Hold up
picked
now.
Pac-Man.
What, fuck,
That's
man?
a tricky question, man.
Good question, though.
Oh
Good
man.
question.
It's the number 8 question. But that-
See, I was thinking Puck, and then you mentioned Scott Pilgrim. I was like, yeah, that is right. That is my reassurance. It's definitely the Puck, from what I remember.
way to go, Street Soul. You cost them everything.
You
Shut up.
God.
screwed us up. Actually, I screwed us up. I am just a loser.
Street Soul fault. Street Soul's the
Broke
Google
up.
lifeline, too.
If you never mentioned Scott Pilgrim, I would have probably been like, wait, maybe it was the pizza. But no.
Alright.
I'm
Well, I mean, I
I'm a
love
sort
Scott
of-
Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is probably one of my favorite, like, downloadable games off the PSN store right now.
Alright.
It is good.
Yeah.
So arcadey.
I'm sorry, Drifter.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I was
I'll
way
get
too
to that.
confident on that.
Jeez, guys. Oh, well. Well, you
I
did
think
well.
did you beat Silencer?
I don't actually remember if you... I think you did beat Silencer. I think you only made it to question 7.
Well, this was two heads getting to question 8, so.
No, he made it to question 8, too. He got question 8 wrong. Okay, well, speaking of which, we're going to ask question 8, if you guys don't mind. See if you guys can get it right, since Wolfie actually is playing some Mega Man. We're going to ask the question. In Mega Man, in all the Mega Man games for the Nintendo Entertainment System, how many Robot Masters could you choose from in the stage select screen? Is it A, 46, B, 52, C, 48, or D, 54?
Isn't that, no, is this just off the NES?
Just off the NES.
Okay, hold up. I need to do some math.
Hey guys, I really gotta go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry. First game
Alright.
had 6, and the rest had 8, so I think it's
Yeah, okay.
46.
You got the
Nice.
math right anyway. But alright, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you to everybody that came on. Thanks, Drift0r. Thanks, Wolfman. If you guys have anything to say it now.
Yep. Thanks for watching, I guess. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
YouTube.
So we'll see you guys on episode 3.
Alright, we'll have episode
Next time.
Next week. Probably same time, roughly. I hope you guys enjoyed. This video will be up on my channel tomorrow, so come and watch just in case you missed anything.
I'll be sure to favorite it tomorrow so some of my people see it.
Yep. There'll be some video. It won't be this blank picture that you're looking at. But I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Thanks a lot, Drift0r, for coming out.
Bye, Drift0r.
Later, Wolfman.
And I hope you come back on the show again soon. As for Wolfman, I'm sure you will be willing to come on the show again at some point.
Absolutely. This was a lot of fun, so thanks a lot for having me.
Super fun.
And we're going to have to mute Street Soul next time.
Hey!
So what?
We're going to have to mute Street Soul.
You guys make me seem like a bad guy.
You are the bad guy.
By the end of this.
Okay, but I'm going to wrap this up and call this a recording. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. We will stick around just in case you guys have any questions to ask us. I don't know who's still here. But until next week, I will talk to you all next time. Peace and love, my friends. Peace and love.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace and love.